Let's get ready to rumble!
Good afternoon, everyone. You know what time it is. Saturday afternoon in the UK, just after 2:30. In fact, we actually started on time. Please, nobody die of shock, especially me. There were no technical difficulties. I got the link sent out properly. My laptop works. My green screen's working, as you can see, because I am in the back cave with Batman and Robin. Great to have you along. Glad to see you all here. I am Nick, aka Alfred from Batman. Got a good show lined up for you today, doing some predictions, doing all the usual shenanigans. And as ever, I have my co-host alongside me. Carl, how are you, sir? How's your week been? And all that other jazz.
Yeah, my week's not been too bad. A little bit stressed out, to say the least. But we managed to get our predictions out for week 2 on the channel. So it was all good. We had a little bit of a deep dive into week 1, as well. Just a quick review. It's been a little bit tiring, to say the least. So I've had some issues probably the last couple of weeks or so. But no, everything's all good. Ready for week 2. Let's get rolling.
Definitely. We're going to speak a bit about week 1 as well. As we go out, we're going to do some picks as well. So, really looking forward to it. Got to say, we have a returning guest. He didn't learn his lesson last week. He's come back to take some. Matt from the Roar of the Lions. Matt, thanks for coming back. How you doing, bro?
Doing great. Thanks, guys, for having me back. I finally learned I had to fucking swear to get on with you guys in this podcast late on, and I think I'm going to start early doors here. How are you guys doing?
How dare you swear on my channel? That's disgraceful. Fucking ruffian. Yeah, I'm all good, mate. I'm all good here. We're going to do a quick bit on the Lions game once I get all the other guys on. Obviously, very interested to hear your take on it. I've got my own takes. Izzy in the chat showing you some love. What else can you say? Good game. Bit worried, but we'll see and get into that very, very shortly. He's now back again. The mobile coffee machine in his kitchen. He's actually tidied up and he's got rid of his
clock.
Little penny thing that he had hanging on the door. That's all gone. So he obviously learnt his lesson there, and he's tied up behind him. Nick,
More to the point, he's got rid of the clock.
he's covered it with a flag. Actually, he's covered it with a flag. Good spot, Carl.
It's not a flag. It's actually painted on wood. But nice to see the abuse starting early today.
Posh man.
Yeah. That's it. Starting early with the abuse.
Obviously, things must be a lot cheaper in Wales if you can afford pictures on wood.
Wow, you know.
Have you had a good week, Nick?
Yeah, it's not been too bad, mate. It's not been too bad. Took a few days for the heart to settle back down to a normal rhythm after last weekend. But, ready for weekend 2 now. Yeah,
definitely. We're going to be talking about that game as well, playing up in Philly. Should be good. Let's bring another returning regular, Ivan. How's your week been? How are you doing?
Not too bad at all, thanks. Yeah, it's been good. Enjoyed it. Good set of games last weekend. So, yeah,
definitely.
Hoping this batch is going to be good as well.
Yeah, there was a lot of definite surprises, I think.
12 underdogs. 12 underdogs won last week.
Yeah.
And it was good. And I've also got some breaking news. very important breaking news. He has broken out of witness protection and he has actually made it to join us live. How are you, Mr. Smug? How are you, sir?
I'm good, gentlemen. How are you doing?
Yeah, we're good. We're good. I'm chilling with Batman and Robin, as you can see. Had to be the 60s version because I can't stand all these modern reboots and remakes, but then I am an old fucker, so that's probably why. I can't be doing none of that Dark Knight shit. Right. Carl, a couple of things we need to sort of go through before we get into the main of things. Obviously, I know you are running the Shag Club NFL Fantasy League.
I don't really want to talk about them because I got smacked.
I have no idea how it's going, what happened, what's happening. So,
Right.
can you give us a brief rundown of what's going on?
Okay, so last week was our first ever week of games. Let me just try and I need to try and find my weeks. Can I get my weeks up there? Doesn't seem to want to do so. This is stupid. Yeah, need to go back through the previous results. Obviously, Scott got his win over John V, so well done to him. I lost by I can't remember who it was. I lost to Tristan as well in my matchup, so that's a bad loss for me. Without actually checking the results from last week, I can't actually find anything. So if you give me 5 minutes, I'll go on my laptop here and I'll actually have a look. So
I was going to say that was well planned. I should have told you that, shouldn't I? But never mind. I thought you'd have it all.
Should have told me that.
Mind you, I bet you if he'd have come top or however it is it works, we'd have screenshots, we'd have cheering bands, you know,
Typical
marching
Patriots
bands.
fan. Typical Patriots fan.
He probably let the ball down. Oh, no, that's Brady,
sorry, there you go. Yellow flag on sportsmanlike conduct. You know, there you go. For God's sake.
That better not be a terrible towel there, Cole.
It's a fibre cloth, mate.
That's all right then.
AKA a yellow duster. So, what were your... Let's go around the horn quickly. What were your... While Carl's looking at the fantasy... What were your shock results that you saw or couldn't have predicted in week one, Matt? What was your biggest, wow, I can't believe that happened game?
What is the biggest shock? The biggest shock for me was that the Eagles look like they could actually be okay. Like, I just thought that, looking at my own team, thinking, you know what, the Lions are probably in for a top 5 pick, hoping that it's not going to be top 2. You know, some people really want to kind of, if they're going to be bad anyway, let's just be really bad. But I'm not one of those guys. I want to shoot for as much as we possibly can. And I was looking at the Eagles thinking, yeah, we're better than them. Like, that's just a terrible team. We're better at quarterback and whatever. And then they just blew away the Falcons. Like, that was a really, really shocking result to me. Hurts looked good. Like, yeah, and D-lines held up very well. So that was the shock result for me.
I think we might see a different story tomorrow with Jay.
Just a quick one. Nick, I've just actually found out the results from week one. So I lost to Tristan in that game, lost by 8 points. Tyreek Hill completely done a job over me, so it's bad enough for me. James from the Saints UK Hub, he absolutely annihilated Wayne Breezy in his matchup, winning by just under 39 points. Josh, Bristol Brady Gargo, who's the Dolphins fan, he beat the posh Steeler Freddie by just under 6 points. Obviously, we talked about John losing to Scott. Dion, brilliant result for him, beat Andy from DC Tweet team by 25 points. And last but not least, Crystal Peachy, she beat Matt from the EDF Sports by nearly 30 odd points. So those are the results from week one.
I'm very interested. Did Scott win by a chokehold and a submission, or was it actually by points? Because obviously, being Kansas City, I know they do like a bit of a chokehold.
Well, put it this way. When you've got Patrick Mahomes, who took up 33.2 points, Christian McCaffrey picked up 27.7 points, and Tyler Lockett picking up 26 points, I think that is a legitimate victory for Scott there.
And my defense got me -3, and I had Raheem Mostert, who got hurt after the second play.
Well, that'll teach you to put a soppy Niners running back in there that
I know
people didn't even think he was going to last half a season, but he didn't even last half a game. But we'll get into that. Scott, what was your biggest sort of, I can't believe that happened at the week 1 games?
I was stunned that the Texans just kicked the shit out of the Jaguars. Like, there was all this talk about Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars, defense might, kind of be, decent this year. And their offense, people thought, well, DJ Chark, they brought in Marvin Jones. They've got Trevor Lawrence, the generational talent at QB, the first overall pick. I was really stunned. And then on the flip side of that, all you heard all off season was how terrible the Texans are. Deshaun Watson didn't play. They got rid of all their receiving core. They had no receivers, and they got rid of their best receiver arguably over the last, 3 or 4 or 5 weeks there at the end of last year's. QT, they just let him go. People were scratching their heads about that move. They got Tyrod Taylor there, and they just came out and looked like world beaters and just dominated a Jacksonville team. So from all the things that you heard and you read and you saw and you thought about in the off season, one team seemed to be on shooting up, the other one seemed to be shooting down, and you got the exact opposite result in that game. That was kind of stunning to me.
Isn't that funny, Carl? You mentioned Posh Freddy in the Fantasy League, and look who pops up. It's Posh Freddy.
Hello.
Hello.
Is a certain someone who supports the Chiefs banging on about my fantastic fantasy week last week?
That's debatable in itself.
Yeah, it wasn't my strongest week in this league. I had some good other leagues, but yeah, it was a bad week for me. It's not how you start; it's how you finish.
There you go. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Ivan, what was your biggest sort of? I can't believe that happened from the first lot of games that you saw.
Well, I was going to go Texans as well because I've just watched the game today and they played really, really well. Tyrod Taylor had a cracking game. Pharaoh Brown, ex-Cleveland Brown, he played really well. So I best I can't go Texans because Mr. Smug's already got it. So yeah, it's a difficult one, really. I guess I was disappointed in Buffalo. They didn't seem to change tactics at all. They stuck to the same system the entire game, and it wasn't getting anywhere. So yeah, maybe I'll choose Buffalo just out of they were meant to play very well and they didn't, and that's not taking anything away from Steelers' defense. Their D-line played really good. So yeah, Probably Buffalo.
I was going to say, and I'm going to get Freddie's opinion on it when we get to him. I haven't seen the highlights of that game, but from what I understand, it was more the Steelers' defense that kept them in the game rather than the offense doing what they should have done. And apparently, again, there was not much of a take up from last season to the first week. Now you can call that first week rust, anything like that. But I'll get to Freddie in that in a sec. Nice to see that already Mr. Smug is playing on his phone with his burner account. Buffalo going it from 4th and 8 was a head scratcher. You could have just said that to us, Scott. You don't have to use your burner account on Twitch or YouTube to make comments. Nick, what was your biggest takeaway or shock or amazing result?
I think we've mentioned the three big ones, haven't we? I mean, no one in no one in their right mind, not even the Texans' grandparents, thought they were going to win that game. Let's be honest. I mean, other than that, you've got obviously Rodgers shit in the bed in truly spectacular fashion, which was so fun to watch. But and the Bills, I mean, you've already got them there. To be honest,
yeah, I was quite shocked, and there's a lot of theories going around about Green Bay, and it'll be interesting to see how they bounce back this week. But obviously, a lot of people saying the way that he was treated in the off season, and he now really doesn't give a shit. And if that is the case, I think that's really, really bad, and he's going to tarnish his legacy in Green Bay. So it'll be interesting to see, how they bounce back. Freddie, what was so 2 questions to you. What was your biggest shock or whatever week 1? And am I right in my summation of the Steelers? It was more the defense than the offense that won that game.
I'll answer your second question first, just to be awkward. Yeah, it was. It was the defensive line caused all the problems for Buffalo, and the cornerbacks performed much, much better than we were expecting them to. I think we were expecting a bit of a slow play once we got rid of a couple in the off season, and Cam Sutton, for example, was absolutely tremendous. Probably the best performance I've seen from a DB for the Steelers for many years. So that was great to watch. The offense was slow. It didn't. I think it had 55 yards of offense in the first half. Just couldn't get anything going. Ben made the plays in the second half that got us the win. But really, if we're going to beat the better teams like Buffalo more consistently, we've got to start earlier. Otherwise, it's going to be a long old time on the offense, and we'll be relying on the defense to win us games like we did last week. But people said we were going to win 6-7 games. That's not going to happen. The defense will keep us in games, and we've just got to rely on the offense to be a little bit more productive throughout the season, rather than what happened last year, where eventually the defense burned out, and we saw what happened in the playoffs. So promising start, but we need to see a bit more on one side of the ball in order for the defense not to be relied upon so often. In answer to your first question, which team surprised me? I'll go with Denver, because I didn't expect Teddy Bridgewater to throw 75% completion nearly. 2 touchdowns, Melvin Gordon over 100 yards on a so-called good Giants defense. Although having watched Thursday Night Football and telling Carl on his preview show that it was going to be a slow-burning, slow-scoring game, it ended up being the complete opposite.
Don't listen to us. Do something in your own time. Just don't listen to us.
So in other words, don't listen to anything I'm saying. Great performance from the Broncos. The Giants look woeful. That's my takeaway.
Awesome. Carly, nice to see the mailman, a.k.a. the mailman, in the chat. Good morning, everyone. Working and getting ready. He also did say, gentlemen, top of the morning and happy tea and crumpets. It's beer o'clock, Callie. It's not tea and crumpet time. Unless, of course, you're Freddie Harper Davis. And then
crumpets are so overrated.
Gets the fine china. The butler brings the fine china.
Absolutely.
And like a very nice
my scones and jam. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say,
Exactly.
don't get him started on cream teas, man.
My biggest takeaway was just how good the Cardinals were, and how poor the Texans were. Not the Texans, the Titans.
Titans.
Chandler Jones, 5 sacks. I had to watch the highlights twice to actually believe that I'd seen it the first time. And it worries me. The Cardinals worry me, I have to say. And that's before the injuries. Now, we all know Kingsbury is on the hot seat now. He has been probably since the beginning or the middle of last year, because they could end up another Rams when Jeff Fisher was there and be 8-8, 8-8, 8-8, etc., etc., etc. So that's an interesting one that's going to obviously bubble on for a while. But I did think they looked really, really good. So that was my that was my main takeaway from that. And again, it's going to be interesting to see how and if they can continue that. Like a lot of teams, Green Bay, are they going to be as bad? You know, Matt Jones looked good for New England. The run game for Detroit, although we didn't have our run stopping in the middle of our defense, still carved us a new one, which I wasn't expecting that. And as I said to you, Matt, when we were DMing, Jared Goff being Jared Goff, I'm sorry, you saw what, and I know that Stafford wanted away from the team, and you can't blame the guy, and he's now in a much better position. And as much as it pains me to say it, the Rams and he looked amazing. Now, again,
I mean, I am repping the Stafford jersey at the moment because he's a franchise legend, and I do not hate him for wanting away from this team. So many players have wanted to do so much that they retired well in advance of being able to be traded. So, you know, you can't blame the guy. But, I mean, was anyone surprised here that Stafford actually looked good in that offense? Because part of me thought that him and McVay might not gel. And part of me kind of hoped, because we get those picks, that they might not gel. But they clearly just have. And Stafford's a world beater, and he's going to prove it this year. I really believe he will.
Yeah, watching the Sunday night game of Matt Stafford, he put up an absolute show. Threw for 3 touchdowns to different receivers as well. He fits that offense so perfectly now, and I think that was what McVay was sort of missing. And I know Jared Goff still put up good numbers. He put up 338 passing yards on the 49ers defense. Obviously, in your running game had 116 yards rushing on the ground. So it's not the be all and end all, but I just think right now with the Lions, I think this game against the Packers on Monday Night Football is going to be quite critical for your season now, because you're going into Lambeau Field. It's one of the most hostile places in the NFL, and the worst person to go up against is a pissed off Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah,
because
absolutely.
He looks pissed. He looks pissed, or he's checked out.
I mean,
what's the two?
The GIF war is excellent right now. What's coming out about Aaron Rodgers and him? What is it at the moment? He's nicking catalytic converters with like that horrible mugshot of him. It's just the worst. Like he genuinely. So Rodgers kind of had the same off season last year that he kind of did the year before in terms of just chilling out and whatever. And like he had the drama of Green Bay, but aside from that, he looks cerebral and composed. But at the start of last season, he looked like he was in this better place where he's just kind of zen and just throwing these absolute darts. Whereas now he does look like he's kind of fallen off the deep end a little bit. Now he's going to destroy us. But Green Bay's defense is woeful as well. Like, it's really bad. So even though they've got Jair Alexander and Kenny Clark and whatever back there, I think both teams are going to... This could be one of the highest scoring games of the weekend. I really think so.
If it was anything that we saw from last week's Monday Night Football, then yeah, we're in for a cracker.
Just a quickie. If you check your email, I've sent you the link because we're going to be doing the picks earlier than normal because Matt hasn't got long. So we're going to accommodate him because he did come back in after his team got an absolute fucking pasting. So,
I feel sorry. I feel bad now.
So, Izzy, check your inbox. Invite has been sent. Did anybody like or dislike the ESPN? And I watched the whole game. The ESPN thing with I nearly said the Eli brothers for some reason. The Manning brothers. What were your thoughts on that? I really enjoyed it, apart from having that cornball Russell Wilson on there, and that spoilt it for me. But apart from that, I really enjoyed it, actually. I thought it was pretty cool. What do you reckon, Carl?
When I watched the Monday Night Football game, I watched it on the main ESPN channel, so I had to wait a couple of days for like a 10-minute highlight on YouTube to actually watch it. And it was actually very, very enthralling, to say the least. The way Peyton Manning and Eli, how they talk about plays, how it's all devised and this, that, and the other. And they had a little bit of comedy, a little bit of humor into it. I think it was Eli Manning's smoke alarm had gone off in his house, but he didn't make a big deal out of it. But I think it was really intriguing to watch, and I think, yeah, this is a little detour away from your usual commentary that you usually get on the main channel its actual self. So I think this is a very, very good idea that what Peyton and Eli have done in this regard.
Definitely. I think ESPN were maybe clutching at straws when they came up with this idea, especially the people that they'd had in the booth and Booger's Mobile or whatever it was on the sideline. They were
Booger McFarlane.
Clutching at straws, and I think, and again, it was only the first one, but I think that's definitely enhanced the broadcast. I like the graphics they use. I think the commentators are pretty good, although sometimes three-man booths don't work, but they seem to work quite well. So I enjoyed it. Matt, what did you think?
I actually have to confess ignorance on this. I watched the Game Pass 40-minute update, and it just had the main ESPN coverage, so I haven't seen any of it yet. I've seen like a clip or two on Twitter, and it looks amazing. Like, I have to catch this. There seems to be this trend of just getting these quarterbacks who are fairly cerebral to be on, and I think it's the future of where commentary is going to be going in the next 10 years, because their insight, the way they see the game, is totally different from everyone else, and it's really interesting. So
the funny thing was, and I didn't count it up, because I sort of had the sound down, I wondered how many times Archie Manning's name was mentioned, because normally when either one of them two boys are on the screen, it's Archie Manning did this, and they always show clips of Archie and Eli and Peyton throwing the ball in the backyard and blah blah. So I don't know how many times, as I say, was mentioned, because I enjoyed it, because Archie always gets a mention. Mr. Smug, did you see the game? Have you seen the clips? Did you think it brought bearing in mind, obviously they only get one game a week. Do you think that brought them back into the game?
Well, first of all, I mean, when you're used to dating 3s and 4s, if you get yourself a 6, you think you got yourself a 10. So it wasn't as funny as I thought people were making it out to be. It got better as it went along. It seemed like maybe they were trying too hard at first. Some of the jokes and giving each other a hard time seemed kind of like manufactured. But it did get better as it went on, and they started talking more of the game. The insight they were giving was great. I liked how they had Russell Wilson, Travis Kelce, some of the other players on. I thought those were really well. But anything's got to be better than what they've had in their broadcast booths the last 5 or 6 years. I mean, it's just been terrible. You referenced the Booger Mobile, and that guy's he's funny, but not funny in the way that you want to be funny. You know, you want people to laugh at at your jokes and not be laughing at you yourself. So, and part of it maybe too is I'll admit I fucking can't stand Peyton Manning. He irritates the shit out of me. His goofy ass. I was at that playoff game in 2003 at Arrowhead when he ripped our hearts out in the no punt game. The guy, he does these cheesy ass nationwide commercials, and he's all over, the NFL. So maybe I'm a little bit of a hater on Peyton. Maybe that's influenced my opinion on it, but I didn't think it was terrible. I didn't think it was as good as everybody made it out to be, but I definitely did enjoy, like I said, them having the other players on and watching some of the guys that play in the league just talk about what was going on was pretty interesting. But again, you and I would have been better than the broadcast booths they've had there for several years now.
We could have just done chokeholds on each other, and it would have been more entertaining than some of those bozos they've had on before. Izzy, good to see you. Come to you very shortly. Ivan, have you seen it?
No, I didn't see it, I'm afraid.
So far, it's been a lot better. What do you think?
Yeah, I didn't see it, I'm afraid. I haven't watched it, but I have heard lots of people make positive comments about it. So I understand the format was very different. And, anytime you got people that played the game, as Matt says, especially ones who understand the game, and can talk through plays, then that's the type of thing you want to have on. So it sounds like it's something I need to catch up on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you got Game Pass. I believe there is the whole overtime on Game Pass. I'm sure I saw that on there, or if not, it was on YouTube somewhere. But honestly, because it's. I think I was actually quite gobsmacked that after all this time of searching, ESPN actually found something that could work and have legs, whereas all the other crap they've done, it just makes you want to switch off, Nick, have you seen it? What did you think?
I've not seen it at all, to be honest. But after comments that have been said, I'm going to have to. Because I'll be honest, I'm a Peyton Manning fan. I quite like the guy. I enjoyed his show, Peyton's Places. I thought he was really good on that. And he does seem to bounce quite well with his brother, even though I can't stand Eli at all in any way, shape, or form. But I can see how they would work together. So it's going to have to be a watch, isn't it? But
did you know his dad is Archie Manning?
No, I've never heard that before, surprisingly.
Nobody ever mentions that, ever. Freddie, I know you, because like me, and I see you tweeting, why am I up watching games that I don't care about, but I'm up anyway? Of course I am.
Yeah.
What did you think? I mean, the game to me was a good game, but
I think the game.
It kept me wanting to watch the game because of that, not in spite of it, if that makes sense.
I think the game was the perfect sort of game for something that the Mannings are trying, because it was two relatively average-looking teams. I think the Ravens are better than the Raiders, but the Raiders had home advantage, so they won the game. But it was two relatively average-looking teams who kept making stupid plays constantly, and both O-lines got crushed, and there was lots of weird and wacky things going on that made plenty of content to talk about, which is why I think if you have a Monday night game where you're really, really struggling for content, that might be where the Manning broadcast might struggle a little bit. But for the first week, it did work very well. The Raiders, in typical Raiders fashion, nearly threw that game away in overtime and then ended up winning it. So there was a cracking game, and it was good fun on the Manning broadcast as well.
Yeah, it was, as you say, it will be interesting when it's a really bad game, like a 3-0 game or something like that, where kind of like when you have a soccer game where the first half there's no shots on target, it's 0-0, it's boring, and it's just really bland rubbish. How then the colour guys at half-time have got to spill 20 minutes of, oh, look, they almost scored, but the bloke took it off and it ended up at the corner flag sort of scenario. So that'll be interesting. Let's just bring Dion in. Dion comes in very, very shortly. Izzy, did you watch it? What did you think of the Eli, my daddy's Archie Manning, and Peyton also his daddy's Archie Manning experiment?
I thought Eli was dull. I thought Eli's been dull since his stupid Dunkin' commercials. And I live in New Jersey, so I had to put up with a lot of Eli Manning. I wasn't overly fond of Ray Lewis being on, or Russell Wilson, but other than that, I really enjoyed it. Especially seeing Charles Barkley talk football.
It's all right. Sorry, I was just reading some comments. Nick, I think it was the fact that you've got painted wood just above your head. It's interfering with your Wi-Fi. Dion, good to have you in. Did you watch the Monday Night Football and the Manning brothers experiment? And if you did, what did you think of it?
Good morning to everyone from the West Coast. And I did watch the Monday Night Football game. That was a hell of a game. If you talk about entertaining, that was definitely entertaining. Be 100% honest with you, man. I didn't see the Manning thing, and I really don't give two shits. No one gives a fuck about Archie Manning. No one cares, okay? Archie Manning was a subpar quarterback for the damn New Orleans Saints. He never did anything. He was never as popular as either one of his sons. Is Eli Manning a Hall of Famer? Yes. You know the reason why? Because he won 2 goddamn Super Bowls, and he did it against Tom Brady. So will he go to the Hall of Fame? Yes. Does he deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? Probably not, just based off stats and career things, but he'll get in off of his last name and off the fact that he won 2 Super Bowls. It's just like Peyton Manning. Long story short, with Peyton Manning, everybody loves him and lauds him for this great quarterback that he is. Peyton Manning was a great regular season quarterback. He could get you to the playoffs. Look at his playoff career. It's trash. And I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, I will always feel like they handed him that Super Bowl versus Cam. They paid Cam off. I will always live and say that. And just as a preface of my comments, so to speak, even though they've been already made, these are my views, not the views of the Shan Club, only mine. Peyton Manning I'm telling you, Cam Newton got paid off in that Super Bowl, bro. There's no way in hell you get to the Super Bowl. That's the pinnacle of your career. You play that garbage and you overthrow Ted Ginn Jr. So at the end of the day, both Mannings will wind up in the Hall of Fame. Peyton more deserving. Eli not very much so because his career numbers are actually really, really bad. And he led the league in interceptions several seasons. But hey, that last name is gonna live on forever. And that like I said, so disrespect, but their dad sucked. He wasn't fantastic. He was nobody to be great about. If you look at the Saints QB history at the end of the day, what's the name you're gonna mention? Drew Brees, not Archie Manning.
But he's Peyton and Eli's dad, for God's sake. Come on now. What the hell do you not know?
Okay, at the end. Okay, do you guys use the word twit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Over there. Yeah. So Archie Manning's a fucking twit. That's what he is. He's a worthless twit. He was nobody, man. Nobody cared about Archie Manning before his kids came along, okay? Just like some people didn't care about certain guys' last name Bosa before Joey and Nick came along. It's just how it works.
You do make a very, very good point. I haven't seen a football life on Archie Manning and on NFL Network. So that is a very, very good point you make. Probably no one.
Did I hear you correctly say that Charles Barkley was talking football?
Yes, he was. He was the first guest on that show.
He can barely talk basketball. Why the hell is he talking football?
That's true. That's so true.
Barkley. Okay, Callie says Eli isn't a Hall of Famer. Take away his Super Bowl seasons. He was horrible. This is true. What I'm telling you, my dog, and Callie, I'm just saying this just for me to you, dog. I'm not saying he's a Hall of Famer. I wouldn't put him in, but I'm telling you, his last name and both of those Super Bowls will get him in. Look at it like this. I'll give you a prime example. A person who should be in the Hall of Fame versus someone who shouldn't be. Now, this person got in, but it was a bitch to get in, and that was T.O. T.O. was one of the greatest receivers you ever saw in your lifetime. If you ever saw T.O. play, you saw some spectacular shit. Even in his later years, T.O. was still great. And T.O. had the numbers to walk into the Hall of Fame easy. But they now have made a specific rule that your off-the-field transgressions can affect you getting into the Hall of Fame. When the Hall of Fame strictly should be based on your career and your numbers, not what you do outside of football, not anything else. But T.O. should have walked into the Hall of Fame, whereas Eli's going to walk in, but his numbers were just not good enough. I understand what you're saying, Callie. I'm just saying from the politics standpoint, come on now, bro. You know the real. They're going to put him in.
Yeah, I mean, the NFL don't like putting in guys who have got a bit of a past, right? So the Lions had someone inducted posthumously this year, Alex Karras, and he's an absolute legend of the sport. He would have walked in, but he got banned for 2 years for gambling, and he didn't make it in until 9 years dead. But he should have been in easily. He, absolute legend after his career in acting and wrestling as well, and talking about the sport. Like, there's so many reasons why he should have made it. So the NFL are not consistent on this, and it's crap. It really is.
So
I think the Antonio Brown situation regarding of a few years ago, that's going to be prime time. One of the best receivers in the game that we've ever seen. Yeah, he is a bit of he is a diva off the field, and it doesn't need explaining. We've seen it from our own eyes how much of a cancer he can actually be. So that's the downfall.
He's gonna wind up like a third, fourth, fifth ballot Hall of Famer, strictly based off of that stuff. And the difference with him, true. Here's the difference with him and T.O. Everybody said these things about T.O., but not much was proven because these people don't come out openly and say, yeah, he did that. With Antonio Brown, it was purely on display for you to see. Like the age of social media did Antonio Brown no good. Romo was better than Eli, neither one of them Hall of Fame worthy. I mean, Romo, it is what it is, bro. I'm telling you right now, I've said this before. I understand we all may feel the same way, but if you look at the politics of how things work, he will be a Hall of Famer. There's no doubt in my mind. There's nothing that's going to stop him. He beat Brady twice, even though both of his throws were on fucking fluke throws. Like, I mean, the throw to David Tyree, he just chucked the fucker in the air and said, Jesus, take the wheel. Everybody knows that because nobody throws a pass like that and just figures it's going to work.
Thing with me, I would give Eli. I'd put him in the Hall of Fame just for kicking the Patriots' asses twice when he shouldn't have done. So to me, sorry, he's in. And one person who should be in there but isn't, and my theory is fumbling issues in the NFC Championship game. Roger Craig should have been in a first ballot Hall
Long
of
time
Fame.
ago. Long damn time ago, he should have been in there. Agreed.
I don't think he's ever going to get in. Right? And that's wrong. And they base it on what happened. I honestly believe that it's the NFC Championship game when he fumbled, and that's why he's not in. But yeah, I definitely think Eli should be because he stuck it to the man. And whenever you stick it to the man, always.
Eli Manning is in the same tier as quarterback as Joe Flacco, but with an extra ring.
And also,
agreed.
Romo will never make it. He is also not. Romo to me is the Chocotron 5000.
That he is. Oh God, he
never,
is. And
he's get over the hump ever.
Romo always threw the worst interception at the worst fucking moment. It was all you knew it was coming. And Carl, please tell us how those games were won, because I don't think it was Eli. I think it was the rotation of that damn defensive line. That's what I feel.
Both defenses suffocated us in both Super Bowls.
We had the
hottest offense in the NFL in 2007. The hottest, especially with Randy Moss. And we got absolutely shut down.
Yeah, the depressing thing about the Mannings is it could be that the best is still yet to come, right? 5 years until Arch comes into the league. Number 1 rated quarterback in the 2023 class for college, right? So
who's coming in?
Arch Manning.
Yeah,
who the fuck is Arch Manning?
Arch Manning is Peyton's nephew. He's rated consensus number 1 quarterback in the college class of 23.
Okay, I'm going to take a look at this kid's stats and see if his numbers actually match up to his last name, because there's lots of times where your last name can get you places you shouldn't be. So I'll take a look. You said Arch. Okay. You might as well just name the kid Archie. The fuck?
Why the fuck
Arch?
would you call someone Arch? Is that because he's half an Archie? It's like, fuck knows. I don't know. Anyway, right. We're going to do some game picks because I know Matt, bless him, has given us a bit of time. So we're going to go into game picks. I'm just trying to make him feel better. If you're just tuning in, please like and subscribe to the Shank Club NFL, to 2 Feet in Bounds, to the Roar Lions, Posh Boy, Mr. Smug. Everyone's on Twitter. You all know their handles. I'm going to save the 49ers Eagles, and we're going to go first to Carl, love of Carl's life, the 0-1, how good does that sound? 0-1 Patriots versus the Jets. Carl, have you got your pen and paper ready to get these picks down?
I'm doing this on my laptop, so I can still see you through the screen, but I've got my Excel spreadsheet up, so I can actually do it on here. It's actually much easier. Yeah, I'm taking the Patriots to win this all day long. The Jets have lost their left tackle, Mekhi Becton, which is a huge loss. I know they got Jamison Crowder back, but if the Panthers and Sam Darnold been able to beat them, then surely we must do. And I think in this game you're going to see Mac Jones was very conservative of his play, but he was still trying to get the ball, push the ball down the field. 281 yards he had. I think in this game you're going to see him throw a few more deeper balls this time round. I think we have to pull the pin on this, let him go, and let's see what he can do. This is the perfect game for him to showcase that. So I'm taking my Patriots to beat the Jets.
Of course you will, Carl, and I'd expect nothing different. Matt
makes a very convincing argument, and I can't really go against it. The Jets have just got so many injuries, and the quarterback looks fine. He doesn't look bad, but Mac Jones is a shoo-in for me to be the best rookie quarterback year one at this point. Just looks like he's in a really good sitch. Belichick knows what to do with him, so they're going to have a great time, and they're going to win this comfortably.
Okay, just a quick one. Izzy, can you just look at the private chat I sent you very quickly? Freddie, what say you?
Patriots, move on.
Mr. Smug?
Man, I don't think the Patriots are that good, but rookie QBs
Shut up.
Rookie QBs struggle against Bill Belichick and Bill Belichick defenses. I'm gonna go with the Patriots.
Ivan?
Yeah, Patriots all the way.
Dion?
Patriots.
Nick?
Yeah, I'm going to go Patriots as well. It's going to be relatively close, but I think you're going to see that Bill Belichick will be the difference in this game.
Now, I am going to ask Izzy, but I know the answer already. But I think she might be a bit torn because obviously New York and New England. But I know who she's picking. Who you picking is.
I picked the Patriots last week. I asked Carl if he thought the Miami was going to win, but I have no problem picking the Patriots. Salah's team's broken up. There's no way they're going to win that game.
And as much as I'd love to lone wolf it, I can't. I was very tempted just to go against the grain, but I can't. Patriots. Broncos, Jags. Dion, choose.
Broncos and Jags. Tennessee. Denver.
Nick?
Yeah, Denver are going to smash them.
New Jersey?
Denver versus who?
The
Jags.
Jaguars.
I'm going to go with Teddy Bridgewater. I don't have faith in Urban Meyer.
Ivan?
Denver, definitely. Yeah, the Jags looked awful against the Texans, so yeah, definitely going Denver.
Isn't it funny how the Jags get hyped every year, and every year you think they're going to do something, they get the first overall pick and they still suck. Scott?
They think they're the hottest shit this side of the Mississippi, so...
Well, they hired Trent Baalke. It's all on them. Frankly, it's their fault.
There you go. That's all that needs to be said. I'm starting to like you more and more, Matt.
They brought in Tim Tebow for tight end, okay?
Scott?
I can't
It's our
pick the
fit.
Jaguars, but I hate
He
the
can't.
Broncos.
I was gonna say it can't come out of his mouth. Look at him. He's about to throw up.
I'm gonna tell you right now, though. don't fall for the Teddy Bridgewater hype train, okay? Anybody who's played fantasy football has gone down the Teddy Bridgewater waiver wire edition. And the guy will have one, maybe two really good games, and then he'll be shit for a month and a half, okay?
Yeah.
He's not that good.
We're not falling down fantasy football, but we just figured that Teddy's better than Trevor.
Trevor had a good week last week, actually, fantasy wise. I'm gonna pick the Jags to lose.
Wow. Yeah, he can't even say Denver to win.
He can't even sum up the freaking balls to say Broncos need to win. You could have just said it. You could have just whispered it, Scott.
It's okay. You know what? Scott,
like his burner account would see him mention that name, and I respect
it, Scott. I respect it, sir.
Freddie, who you got?
I'm finding this quite difficult because I can't remember what I said on Carl's preview show the other night. So I might say one team wins and then someone else would win in the other game.
You said Denver.
But this one, the Jags were just last week. I've not seen a defense as bad as the Jags. They made Tyrod Taylor look like Deshaun Watson, which that takes some doing.
Was he getting massages on the sideline?
Yes.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Oh, that's fucking that's a yellow flag. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, but
that was necessary roughness.
That was unnecessary.
They're all over the shop. Denver's defense is really very, very good. They've got the best DBs in the league. Teddy Bridgewater is a bridge quarterback, so he'll do his job. I know they're missing Jerry Jeudy, which is a big blow, and their offensive line last week wasn't brilliant, but it got the job done. Yeah, I'm taking the Broncos all day long.
Matt?
Yeah, Denver for all reasons listed.
Carl?
Do it.
I'm taking Denver.
I think there'll be no surprise. It's a clean sweep, Denver. And it was good to see Albert O, the tight end, getting in on the action in week one. Obviously, ex-Mizzou player. Got a thing for Mizzou, as everyone knows. So that was good to see him finally fit and going for it. Bills, Dolphins. Quite an interesting one. Are the Bills going to bounce back after last week? They can't be any worse. Dolphins riding it a bit. I'm still not convinced by Tua. I'm going to go Bills. Carl?
Here's a question. Which quarterback is going to be under the most pressure? Is it going to be Tua to make sure he can keep his starting job? Or is it Josh Allen, who's now got paid the second most money in quarterbacks? Because if the Bills lose this game, Josh Allen is going to be under some scrutiny. Because you can't go 0-2 at the start when you was runners up in the AFC last year. You can't do that. I think the Bills do bounce back from this, but they need to play a damn side better on offense than what they did against the Steelers. The Steelers completely and utterly suffocated them. The Dolphins defense, as we witnessed last week, they're very good. They're very, very good. So it's just going to be a case of, can the Bills do enough on offense? The Bills need to run the ball more in this game because they barely did against the Steelers. They have to run the ball this time and give Josh Allen that little bit of a security blanket that he needs. I am going to take the Bills in this game, but I am not 100%. I'm not confident in this at all.
Take those splinters out your arse sitting on the fence, Carl.
Well, how's this for not sitting on the fence? Then I'm taking Miami. I think that the Bills are just gonna shit the bed. Like they have put themselves under so much pressure in the manner in which they lost last week. And you know what? Miami went out there knowing what they needed to do, and they went and did it. And I think that's the thing about a clinical nature of a team, which is what the Bills were good at last year. They knew how to win. They knew how they were good, and they've gotten away from that. And Miami have started doing that. So Miami.
Interesting. There could be a lone wolf coming. Who knows? We're going to go through We're going to run the slate. Freddie.
No lone wolf on this one. I'm 100% with Matt. I think the Finns are going to win this game. Buffalo did, as you say, Buffalo did nothing on offense last week. Run game was non-existent, and they're going up against the Dolphins with another good defense. So they're going to have to up their game. You're going down into Florida, which is never easy. The one thing I will have in the Bills' favor is they did absolutely destroy Tua and the Dolphins at the end of last season. So they are more than capable of doing it. But last season is last season. This is a new year. And so far, from what we've seen from the Bills, are they as good as last year? Doesn't look like it. But it was against a very good defense. So, no, I'm with Miami on this one, but it will be a close game.
There's a very interesting stat on this game. Buffalo have won 5 straight games versus Miami and scored 30-plus points in each of those 5 victories, which, if after last week they manage, then that's going to be that. It could end up a really interesting game. Mr. Smug, what say you?
The Bills, Josh Allen can't be the whole offense. He can't be the running back and the quarterback. The play calling in the playbook can't be Josh Allen runs or Josh Allen passes. They're not going to be able to do that all year. If they do, they're going to look like they did against the Steelers. They've got to get more balanced. Outside of Stephon Diggs, though, what playmaker do the Bills have that really scares you that much? With that being said, I still think that the Bills are a decent team. I just really would be stunned if they started 0-2. The Dolphins, they look decent. They got some playmakers, but at the same time, they've still Tua's kind of unproven at this point. I was high on the Bills to start the year. I'm not going to jump off of them quite yet. I do think it's a good game, but I'll take Buffalo to win.
Okay. Ivan.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really close game. The Dolphins have definitely got better. I was really disappointed with the play calling for the Bills last weekend. They just didn't seem to get it going. As people have been saying, they just relied upon the quarterback way too much. I can't believe the Bills are going to be as bad as they were. So I am going to stick with the Bills to win this game. If they do lose this game, it's going to be very interesting come the end of the season with those 2 losses and what difference that's going to make to the AFC hierarchy in the postseason. So it'll be interesting to see. But I just feel the Bills have a bit too much. So I'm going to stick with the Bills.
Definitely going to be an interesting game. As you say, there's a lot riding on it for both teams, really. Izzy, who have you got?
Buffalo.
Straight to the point. Nick?
Bills. It's too important for them to win this game, and I don't see them being as bad as last week. So, Bills.
Dion?
Buffalo for 2 reasons. 1, Josh Allen is my quarterback, and 2, Devin Singletary is my running back in fantasy. So both y'all mother better win. Damn it. You let me down last week. Don't let me down this week. Buffalo.
Dion has spoken, mofos. Rams, Colts. Carl, you.
Yeah, Indianapolis were extremely disappointing last week against Seattle. They were just terrible. I know Carson Wentz is in a brand new system, but Jesus Christ, that was horrible to watch if you was a Colts fan. I'm going to take the Rams to win this one. I don't think it'll be close.
Matt?
Oh, how fun is it going to be watching an in-season Hard Knocks of the bloody Indianapolis Colts? Jesus Christ. Stafford and Rams. What more needs to be said?
Why bring Hard Knocks out again? Needs to be said.
Money talks.
I didn't unfortunately see any all or nothings this past year, which was a shame because I actually was getting more into the Amazon all or nothing than Hard Knocks because Hard Knocks now, especially with the one just gone, they've got away from the formula that kind of worked, and now it's just boring. So I don't know. Yeah, but in season hard knocks, oh, fuck it. Freddie.
I interestingly went with the Colts on Carl's preview show the other night, and I'm gonna stick. I'm gonna stick with it. I'm going a bit mad, I know. Well, I lost it many years ago, but I love Jonathan Taylor. That O-line is good. If there's one guy in the whole league that can keep Aaron Donald quiet, it's Quentin Nelson. So I'm hoping there that he wins that battle. Carson Wentz looked a little bit off last week, but then so did pretty much the whole defense as well. So a bit like many people have said about the Bills last week, I'm not sure you'll see Indianapolis quite as bad as they were last week. It's a new week. The Rams were fantastic against the Bears, but the Bears were utterly terrible. So again, it's hard to really see where the Rams are. But we know they're good on offense. But I'm going with the Colts.
Before we continue, just want to add something a little more to this. Indianapolis is 5-0 in games following a loss in 2020.
Okay, that was 2020. We're in 2021. The only other thing I have to say real quick, the only other thing I have to say real quick is there is another Aaron Donald killer, and he is on our team, and his name is Daniel Brunskill.
We don't tend to talk
film.
about. I don't tend to care about anything Niners, so it's all good.
Check the film. Okay, Quentin Nelson ain't stopping shit. His name is Daniel Brunskill. We call him the AD killer. I apologize, Mr. Smug. It is your turn.
Lovely transition.
The Colts look putrid against the Seahawks, and I actually think the Rams' offense is better. I think Matthew Stafford's better than Russell Wilson. I think he's got just as good, if not better, a weapon than the Seahawks have. I don't know if Nick's worried yet. Nick, I'll let you out of that 50 quid for 40 quid right now. I'm going to give you an out and save you $10.
No.
Rams this one easily, comfortably. Rams are dangerous.
Up until they play the 49ers, my friend, and then the pupil will yet again lose to the master.
How many players did the 49ers lose to injury this week?
Don't worry about how many players the 49ers lost. We beat them with Nick fucking Mullins.
Not with Matt Stafford, you didn't.
The sorry ass
one thing I will say. One thing I will say is Rams Bucks week 3. Cool.
Same old sorry ass Rams. Ivan, who you got?
I agree a lot with what Freddie has said, apart from the outcome. I do think the Colts are a much better team than they displayed last week. They really shouldn't have played as badly as they did. And the Rams were playing a very poor team, which made them look really good. So I think it's going to be actually a lot closer. But until proven otherwise, I'm still going to go with the Rams on this one. Because Stafford did look good.
Got another Mr. Smug Burner account just coming. I got to just put this up. Well, I'm Mr. Smug. Stop playing with your phone. I've told you about that. You shouldn't keep putting your burner.
I'm on my phone, Nick. What are you talking about?
Oh, I don't know how to ban people from here. Whoops. I want to do that again. Right. Izzy.
I'll pick LA.
Ooh. Is that the first person to pick LA so far?
I think everyone has, hasn't they? Except
everyone has.
Everyone has.
Everyone
everyone said Rams.
Except me.
I'm getting confused. Nick.
Yeah, Lambs, move on.
Dion.
I echo my brother Nick's sentiments. Lamb chops.
Lambs.
Careful now, I'm Welsh, mate.
Yes, you'll see an inflatable one go behind him in a minute, trying to escape. I really
we shall go mute them. Who's the silly fuckers?
I really don't want to pick the Rams because it goes against.
Do it for the greater
Oh,
good,
just
Nick.
do
Freddie's
it.
a lone wolf. Do it for the greater
He's
good.
got a
Come on, Nick.
lone
Come join me.
Oh, yeah, Rams. Fuck it. Lone wolf, Freddie, do it.
Ah, woo!
That was more
The
like a
fuck was
rabid
that?
dog than a lone wolf.
Yeah, it
Freddie,
wasn't the best, but I'll take it.
You practice
Gotta
that
love a lone rabid dog as opposed to a lone wolf. Raiders, Steelers, Dion.
I saw what the Raiders did. They looked very competitive last week, but I'm gonna go ahead and go with Steel City. Those blue collar bastards are gonna take this one.
Nick,
Yeah, I'm with Dion. I think they're actually going to do pretty well this year after what we saw last week. So Steelers.
Izzy,
Sorry, Steelers.
Ivan.
Well, the Raiders
It's
were
tough one for you.
the Raiders were pretty awful, weren't they? The first half of that game. How the hell the Ravens lost that one after that first half? You know, the Raiders were just dreadful. And
no Josh Jacobs this week, guys. No Josh Jacobs.
And the Steelers.
They got Kenyon Drake. It's fine.
Steelers D-line was very good. The defensive backs played a lot better than I expected them to. Big Ben ranked number 32 quarterback last week. You know, I'm gonna edge the Steelers on this one.
Can I just say, Ivan, don't say things like that when I'm taking a sip of drink. I nearly fucking choked. It's not fair.
Matt, you're gonna need to use a mouthwash, Ivan, after saying that.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Mr. Smug.
Yeah, fuck the Raiders. I was giving the Steelers.
I like it.
Freddie.
I like it, Scott. Fucking
He's
right,
getting
Scott.
spicy, yeah. He's getting
Fucking
spicy.
right. He is. Scott is
He's stealing
spicy
my
today.
lines now. Get in.
Calm down there, sir. Calm down.
Freddie.
That's a yellow flag for
Raiders
abusive
against
language. There you go.
Only one thing to say this week. I don't think.
Steelers.
Yeah, that's it. Up the mighty Steelers. Big Ben was not the 32nd best quarterback last week, so PFF talk a load of shit as per usual. And if he was worse than Aaron Rodgers, then I shouldn't be here. I don't know what I'm talking about. If he was worse than Rodgers, but there we go. Steelers will win. Bring it on.
I love PFF because they speak the truth, Freddie. Just remember that. Lenny, good to see you in the building. Hope you're well over there in New York. Probably out gigging later. Hope you have a good time. Matt.
Yeah, I think the Steelers come in overrated and the Raiders come in underrated to this game. I think the Raiders are going to cover the spread because I think it's 6.5 points, which seems mad to me. But I'm taking the Steelers on the money line for sure.
Carl?
6 of the last 8 games between the Raiders and the Steelers, it has been a 3-point deficit in most of the games. And the Raiders have won 3 of the last 4 against Pittsburgh. But even though they put up a very, very good showing against Baltimore, this Steelers defense is in a different league. So I'm going to say I have to take the Steelers in this game.
Now, I read the same blurb that you just read out, Carl, but mine said something completely different. All it said was, fuck the Raiders, Steelers. And I hate picking the Steelers, but fuck the Raiders. Fuck them. The end. Bengals versus Bears. Now, if you ever wanted a game to fall asleep to, this could be the game. Unless Justin Fields and
Don't sleep on the Bengals.
They won a game, Fred. Don't get excited.
Yeah, it's one game.
Freddie, I got a lot of stick last week for saying the Bengals were going to win.
It's the Bengals.
Don't sleep on the Bengals.
Ivan nailed it. He did.
Well, unfortunately, it's not a 9:25 game here in the UK, and I'll be watching the Niners. But if it was a 9:25, I probably would fall asleep on those fuckers. But anyway, Carl, Bengals Bears, Andy Dalton, the ginger assassin in at QB. Thank God I'm not a Bears fan. What say you?
If Andy Dalton starts, Cincinnati win this all day long. I thought the Bengals played a hard-fought game against Minnesota last week. Got the job done in the end thanks to their rookie kicker. But yeah, I'm taking the Bengals to win this game. I think I've just got no confidence in Andy Dalton whatsoever. I just don't. He was just garbage against the Rams last week. Absolute garbage. So I'm taking the Bengals to win this game.
Don't diss the ginger assassin. I've told you that before, Carl. Matt.
The Bears proved the thing to me that I knew all along, which is don't worry about the Bears quarterback situation. Worry about the Bears defense because it's shite. It's really bad. The other thing that the Bengals proved to me is that although Jamar Chase doesn't know what a fucking NFL ball looks like, he can actually catch one, which is great to hear because
he caught 5 of them.
I know. Like he came out and said, I can't see the ball because it doesn't have the white stripes on it. I was like, okay, well, you caught the ball, so well done. Bengals.
I had that all the time. I couldn't see the white stripes either. It was terrible. Freddie.
Yeah, don't know about this one. I'm not sure whether to bring my 7 Nation army with me. Boom. Anyway, moving off my horrendous puns. I've got the Bengals to win this one all day long. Jamar Chase, everyone's saying, he's rubbish preseason, he's going to be a big bust. Whoever watches college football would know that Jamar Chase was never, ever, ever going to be a bust with Joe Burrow playing quarterback. That was just a load of nonsense. The O-line held up pretty well. And, I actually quite like the Bengals. I think the AFC North is a strong division. And with all the Ravens' injuries, who knows, the Bengals might not be the bottom team in the division this season. But this game's got Bengals win written all over it. If Andy Dalton starts, as they say, the Bears wasted their good years with their brilliant defense. Now their defense isn't very good. They look a complete mess. So Cincinnati.
Scott.
If they keep playing Andy Dalton, man, someone needs to get fired in Chicago. All right, that is one of the most absurd, ridiculous, asinine things I've seen in the NFL in a long time. I'll go with the Bengals this week over the Bears and Andy Dalton.
I think Matt Nagy is trying to lose his job by starting the ginger assassin. That's the only thing I can think of.
Loyalty there's no such thing as loyalty in the NFL. Just because you paid him $10 million for a year, just because you think he has to start. I know you're trying. And you know what else? Right? I know you're trying to preserve your future going forward. But right now, you look yourself in the picture. Detroit have lost. The Vikings have lost. Green Bay got smacked up. You've got a very good opportunity here to actually say, hang on, we could put Fields out there. Yes, our O-line isn't very good. But what can he do that Andy Dalton can't do? He can extend plays. He can throw on the run. He's got talent. He can be a quarterback draw. There are ways and means how you can work around this. You make a playbook of the things that he can do rather than the things that he can't do. Build that around him, and the Bears will probably get over 500 with Fields.
Do you know what the funny thing is, Carl? And I know you're looking at the same thing as me with the fixtures and like the little blurb underneath. And do you know what the little blurb? And this is quite amusing. The only thing that NFL could come up with to give anybody any hope that this is going to be a good game is Bears QB Andy Dalton facing former team. That's it. That tells you how fucking awful this game is going to be. I'll stop. I'll just have one more thing before Ivan carries on. I'll make a prediction right now. If Justin Fields does not start, if he doesn't start tonight, if he doesn't start
by week 4, Matt Nagy's on his ass. He's gone because they played Detroit.
And if you're Matt Nagy, you've kept your word and started him week 1, and he didn't look very good. So now you bench his ass and you put in Justin Fields. I mean, it's fucking easy.
Exactly.
You'd like
Sorry,
to think
Ivan, off you
so.
go.
Ivan.
I'm going to say the same thing I said last week, which is the Bengals were a perfectly competitive team until injuries hit them, where they've got no depth. So against in the early season, where they're playing their winnable games, they're going to look better. So I do think the Bengals are going to win this one. I do think also that one of their weaknesses, apart from depth, is also their head coach. Because Zach Taylor he just doesn't make good decisions and play calling. They should have buried the Vikings when they were up. They should have run the game, run the clock. So one of the things that is going to let the Bengals down consistently, even if when they get good depth, if they keep him as head coach, is him and his play calling. But at this moment in time, they're a better team than the Bears, certainly. So I have the Bengals winning this one.
Izzy, what say you?
I'm gonna have to pick the Bengals because I don't believe in Nagy, and I definitely don't believe in Jason Garrett. And cockroaches stay in the league way too long.
Nick?
Yeah, Bengals. Let's be honest. I never thought I'd be seeing them going 2-0 to start the year, but they are playing Chicago, and they're shit.
Very succinct, old boy. Dion.
I'm going with Cincinnati here. Joe Burrow is the reason that Andy Dalton is gone. So your successor is going to kick you square in the nutsack this week. And if they don't start Fields, I agree, Carl. He's out on his ass.
I think it's going to be a clean sweep. I'd love to see Fields come in there. Dalton gets taken out in the first quarter. Fields comes in, lights it up, does Justin Fields type shit. But this defense.
I'd love to know the last time Cincinnati had a clean sweep. Blimey.
I think it was
I
2015.
know. Well, exactly. Yeah, I just think, like everyone has said, that the Bears' defense is shitty, and if Nagy can't see what's in front of him, he deserves to get the proverbial kick up the arse out the door because it's ridiculous. I understand you being loyal to a point, but when your starting quarterback is just awful, you've got to make the switch. You've got to.
Can I just say as well that the Bears are the favourites for this game?
What in the
Really?
fuck?
What does that? What does? So what?
On what?
It means
Where
the
did you
square root of Jack. It means the square root of Jack if Andy Dalton's starting.
Right?
That's insane.
Not only that, the spread is 2.5 points.
Nick, I replied to you.
The spread makes sense. The numbers the spread makes sense. Sorry, Izzy, go. I apologize.
I just wanted to tell Nick I replied to his question in the private chat.
Oh, good.
That's all I
Yeah,
wanted to say.
the spread. Are you serious? 2 points? Yeah, we'll put it like this. At the end of the day, Scott's spicy as hell, and I love every second of it. Scott, drop that on over to your boy, to your, I'm going to say left, right, I don't fucking know. Ivan, you need to stop being nice to interdivision opponents. Ivan, I need you. Ivan, I know it's in you. And I'm going to do this shit to you every week until you give me something. Stop being nice to the fucking Bengals. Okay? Scott couldn't even say the Denver Broncos. Okay? He couldn't even say it. I need you to just, I need it, man. I need it. I need you to just look and say, fuck every other team. Fuck the Steelers.
Can I just point out, Dion, that my brother is a Cincinnati Bengals fan. So
that's even more of a reason to say fuck the Bengals. That's even more of a reason. Okay, I'll tell you this.
I'm getting away with this.
Look, let me tell you this. I am a 49er fan.
Last week, Freddie.
Yeah, I am a 49er fan. I've been a 49er fan since 1985. And my dad never watched football, ever. and he wound up marrying some new woman, and she loves football, and she's a Packers fan. So he got into football. And did you know what this asshole decides to do? He decides to becomes this damn Seahawk fan of all people.
That's what
Of all teams. This man is an avid basketball fan. He is a Laker for life. He's been a Laker for life. He's never changed. But of all teams to pick the damn Seahawks, I asked him, I was like, why? He was like, well, I like Russell Wilson. And I'm like, you couldn't pick any other team. You know, that's a direct division opponent, right? Interdivision. He goes, yeah. And I was like, okay, so just so you know, I'm going to kick your ass every season just for that shit. I understand this. So if your brother's the Bengals fan, you should be giving it to him swift in his nuts every week. You guys suck. You're going to lose. You're never going to make the playoffs. The curse of Marvin Lewis lives on. Let's move on, fellas. Ivan, I need it from you, brother. I need it. Give me that. You got to give me that.
I'm just calling.
I was hoping Ivan was going to bring the heat last week to Mr. Smug, and it was going to be an all-out war, but it turned into a fucking pillow fight.
It was.
That's two.
I'm just calling the games as I see them. I'm just calling the games as I see them.
I thought there was going to be butterflies and rainbows all over the place. How nice he was. No, we need that anger. I know you've got it in you, Ivan. Come on.
Bring it forward, Ivan. Bring it.
Right, shall we move on to the next fixtures?
Texans versus the Brownies. Carl?
Congratulations, Houston! You got your free win over Jacksonville. You now get a coupon. You now get a coupon to get your ass kicked by the Browns for free this week. So Cleveland win this.
Matt?
The more interesting question is, do they cover a 13.5 point spread?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Browns to win and cover.
Ivan is building himself up. Look, you can see he's thinking about it. He's got two more people. He's going to bring that fire. Freddie.
These are the sort of games that make Baker Mayfield look good. Browns will win this by a landslide. This will be 38-7. I see them winning this by 30 points.
Scott.
That's it.
You wanted to avoid saying the Browns that
Obviously, his McDonald's Wi-Fi broke, and the witness protection program cut him off just as he was about to deliver. Hang on a second, he's coming back in.
Carl, you got to throw the flag. That was going out of bounds.
Yeah, Carl. Yeah.
Yeah, the witness protection Wi-Fi failed badly.
Yeah,
Ivan,
that was a unnecessary.
Now is your time to
plug.
Delay a game. It's actually delay a game.
I love it.
Is it my turn? Is it?
Go on,
Yes,
Ivan.
sir.
Bring the fire.
Come on, bring it,
So-
Ivan. Give it to me, brother. Come on.
All right, it's obviously the Browns are going to win. They're a much better team than the Texans. As to the jibe by Freddie on Baker, let me just answer that one just by saying that last week Baker was only one of two quarterbacks who had
To throw an interception?
Who had a 75% success rate and threw over 300 yards. So,
And lost.
well, I can't wait to see what the Steelers do when they play the Chiefs.
We will.
So the interesting thing is, and I've just worked out why Mr. Smug dropped out when he did. He obviously pressed the wrong button on his burner account and send pressed exit. And that's what happened. So, sorry, Ivan, who you got in all this frivolity? I didn't hear your pick. Who are you going for?
Browns.
Mr. Smug, who are you going for?
Sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. Unless the Houston Texans trade for Patrick Mahomes before tomorrow somehow, the Browns will win that game.
Awesome. Nick?
Browns. Is there really going to be any other result?
Oh yeah, come on, man. I don't even have to say that. That's obvious. There's no way the Texans win his game. The Browns are going to kick them. The Browns are going to kill them. And it's probably going to be based off of the fact that they have a dipshit punter that fucked them out of the game. versus the Chiefs.
That's just the Scots for you.
I will, obviously, I am going to pick the Browns because, Texans are just garbage.
I'm picking the Browns.
You're going Browns as well, so it's a clean sweep.
Clean sweep.
Saints, Panthers. Jameis Winston was on fire last week, but we all know Jameis can be Jameis when the pressure's on. If he's got to come back from behind, Panthers look good. Scott, who you got?
That's man. And I knew last week. I said if you go back and watch the video, I wanted to pick the damn Saints, and I talked myself into picking the Packers. Jameis, if he can, now he benefited a lot from some short fields. I think he had 5 touchdown passes, and he threw for under.
Yeah, he had like 148 yards or some shit. Yeah,
150 or 160 yards.
Yeah,
So,
it was bad.
I don't know that he'll get that lucky again. The Panthers, that game was not as close as the score looked. They really were kicking the Jets' ass in the first half, but they just didn't score a lot of points. So I think the Panthers are a better team than people would think. I'll go with the Saints.
Okay. Deal?
Oh, okay. Nobody said anything, so I didn't want to just answer and be a dick.
I actually was saying to myself, dickhead, you're muted just after I spoke. I do apologise.
Incompetence.
Listen, I got the show out on time. I sent the links properly. I did everything and got it all set up, and then I go and mute myself and talk, and then forget I've muted myself.
Hey, it happens to all of us, growing pains. Nah, man, this is Saints all the way. Run CMC ain't gonna be able to be the whole offense for the Panthers. Saints, New Orleans.
Nick?
Yeah, I think it might be a bit closer than maybe a lot of people think, but Saints to win.
Ivan?
Yeah, Saints for me.
Freddie?
This is interesting. The Panthers are better than they showed last week. I'm not sold.
Shit.
I'm not sold on Sam Darnold by any stretch, but I like the weapons they have.
What do you mean? He won his revenge game. What are you on about?
They play the Jets, so it's nothing special.
Exactly, he got his revenge game. There we go.
Their defense is young and it is getting better week on week. But the Saints, then again, they were so clinical last week. They didn't exactly have to do a lot to get past a terrible looking Packers team. But they did their job and were much, much better than most people thought they'd be. I actually have this one down as my game of the week, so it's going to be a close one. I'm actually going to back the Panthers.
So everyone...
I knew he was going to do it. I knew it. I knew the way he started. See, that's one thing about Freddie. Freddie's got telltale signs. When he starts off something a specific way, they say he's going fucking left, and he just went far left, picking the the Panthers over the Saints. Okay.
And this is Freddie's game of the week. So if it turns out to be a shit fest, get after him on Twitter. That's all I can say. Izzy,
all right.
Who you got?
I'm picking Carolina. I like DJ and I like Jeremy Cho.
Unfortunately, I thought we was going to get another lone rabbit dog, but it doesn't seem that way.
Who's counting on that?
Saints D is better than Panthers quarterbacks, so Saints.
Carl?
Yeah, I'm taking the Saints to win this one. Darnold's had his spotlight from last week. Now it's back to reality. Let's see if you can be a decent QB in this league, but you're not metastasized by the freaking Adam Gase. So yeah, I'm taking the Saints to win this.
That was easy for you to say, and I'm going I'm going to go the Saints. Vikings versus the Cardinals, Carl.
Yeah, Cardinals beat the brakes off Tennessee last week. I expect them to do the same against Minnesota, so I'm taking Arizona.
Matt?
The Vikings, along with most of the NFC North, are fucking atrocious. So, Cardinals.
Is he?
I hate to do it because I like Dalvin Cook, but I just cannot pick the Vikings right now. So Cards.
Freddie?
Another coach that should be fired in Mike Zimmer. He's past his sell-by date. I'm going Cardinals all day long.
Ivan?
Cardinals.
Nick?
Yeah, Cardinals with a big win, unfortunately.
Dion?
Those annoying red fucking birds.
Scott?
Yeah, really disappointed by the Vikings last week. I thought maybe, they could be a team to win that division this year with some of the players they got. They got playmakers. They, year in, year out, they might not have the best defense in the league, but they're usually top 5, top 10. That was disappointing. I'll pick the Cardinals. They're an early season team. They do this every year, it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
And as ever, Scott, the king of the anticlimax, gives us all that fucking build-up. We expect him to say the Vikings, and then he picks the Cardinals. I'm going for the Cardinals as well.
Hey, man, you lose to the fucking Bengals. I'm not picking you again for a long time.
Right.
That's actually very true. Very, very true. The next game on the slate, I should just shut the app. Tampa Bay and Atlanta. Now,
Do you even need to bother?
Where the fuck is Craig when you need him? Where the fuck is Craig?
Just
Wake
waiting
his
on
ass
coming
up. Wake him
I'm
the fuck up.
very disappointed in the Falcons last week. I don't know why I thought that they were going to be better than they were. But is anyone going to take the Falcons this week? No. Move on. No.
Move on.
No.
Yeah, they played like putrid ass last week, so no.
I'm going to.
Craig, I think Craig is at Matt Ryan's funeral today. That's
Probably
why
so.
he's on the show.
Yeah, it's a 3-hour-long funeral.
Very probably.
Crying all over the casket, falling out and shit, and just, screaming, "Why? Oh God!"
even my guy DJ LaFave, Lenny, who doesn't like NFL, he's only into college, and I believe he is the Ohio State or his missus or something, or his wife or whatever. He's even picking Tampa Bay, and he knows nothing about football. Knows a lot about OBS, and he knows a lot about the New York Red Bulls, but he's not too much into the NFL. Right. Titans, Seahawks. Now, it's actually Alabama. I do apologise. Titans, Seahawks. Now, I wonder what team I am possibly going to pick.
You're going to go with your boy Russ, aren't you?
I think I'm going to go Titans just for a change. Carl?
If the Titans play anywhere like they did last week against Arizona, Seattle are going to burn them alive. So, and that's going to happen again. I'm going to take the Seahawks.
Matt?
I mean, even if the Titans play up to where they played last year, this would be a really competitive game in Seattle. So I'm taking Seattle because I don't think the Titans will get there.
Is he?
The fucking 12s.
Freddie?
I'm going to throw Dion off here and say that the Titans have... They've got to be better on offense. I mean, the Cardinals absolutely murdered them last week, and the Seahawks defense is just not as good. So I'm expecting the Titans to put up points. However, the defense, I mean, Bud Dupree was their big money signing, and he made one tackle and looked completely out of it last week. And their DBs were absolutely atrocious. So Russell Wilson's going to have a very, very big night, and it depends which week. We had Tyler Lockett last week, so it's probably going to be DK Metcalf with a couple of touchdowns this week. Seattle all the way for me, but it will be high scoring.
Ivan?
Yeah, it's the Squawkers for me.
Nick?
Please don't hurt me. It's sea bitches.
Motherfucker. Dion?
You might as well kick me and Nick off the fucking show right now. It's the goddamn Hawks. That's what they are. It's in the Hawks nest. It's really hard to win in that shit stadium. It really is. And I don't. If the Titans look anything like what the fuck happened last week, oh my god! One thing to note: their quarterback is still Ryan fucking Tannehill. He's not fantastic, people. Don't jump on the hype train. Scott, over to you, sir.
Actually, if you look at Ryan Tannehill's quarterback rating,
Here we go.
Last couple years, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I'm not saying
Ryan Tannehill sucks a huge bag of dicks. He's still trash. He's never winning a Super
Go look
Bowl.
at the numbers.
Numbers ain't shit.
The Titans' defense is just fucking terrible. Like it. They ought to change their name to the Teen Titans or whatever that fucking gay ass show is. Seahawks look good. Seahawks, they need to let Russell play. They went away from that shit last year towards the end of the year and tried to go back to this run the ball bullshit. And
gotta let Russ cook. You gotta let Russ cook.
Seahawks win this game easily.
We have a lone wolf.
Oh, of course we've got a lone wolf. Because I'm never picking against. I'm never ever going to pick the Seahawks. And again, fuck Seahawks. That's a lone wolf, Freddie, not your. Hashtag just saying. This is going to be easy. I'll get this one out of the way. Because again, it's so easy. Cowboys, Chargers. Mama, don't let your boys be Cowboys. Chargers. Carl.
You're picking the Chargers to beat the Cowboys. Scott, I want to ask you a question. When the Chargers played at that little piddly little soccer stadium and it was playing against the Chiefs, what was the main problem with that game apart from you beating the shit out of them?
Most of the fans there were Chiefs fans.
Exactly. Now, I know they're in SoFi Stadium now, and they say it's their home. It's their home, but technically it's not. It's the Rams' home. They're just using their metal gear. Here's the thing what I'm going to say. The Chargers on the field, the product they've got on the field looks amazing. Looks really, really good. The Cowboys have got a few injuries, especially losing D-Law. That's a huge loss, and Randy Gregory as well. But picture this
is out on that suspension.
Sorry? Say again?
Collins is out on that suspension for violation.
I think he's at 5 games, is he?
Yeah, he is suspended on that as well. But just picture the scenario. That stadium, 2/3 full of Cowboy fans. Liquid stage would have hit that chart, would hit the organization, and it would be a worst case scenario. I am going to go for an upset here, and I'm going to take the Cowboys to beat the Chargers.
What is it you're drinking, Carl? Just out of interest. Was it vodka? Petrol?
Might as well be.
Rocket fuel? And by the way, you'll see that when the Niners play the Rams in that shiny new stadium, who is going to be representing, and it isn't going to be the LA Lambs. I don't give a shit if they're 11-0. The Niners are still taking over that stadium.
Oh, but
Sea of red.
Don't worry. There's both teams are going to struggle with fan attendance because it will get overrun by away support. But I think in Chargers games, it's going to be more overrun by away fans than what Rams fans are, because the Rams they are sort of LA's team, really. Let's be real.
I still think you're drinking petrol. Matt?
I mean, Dallas proved that they were good last week, right? But all of those injuries and suspensions and what have you, and the Chargers were good. So, fuck the Cowboys. Chargers.
There you go. Izzy?
I'm going with the Chargers. I can't pick the Cowboys, and I'll enjoy them being 0-2.
Freddie?
This is going to be a good game. This will definitely be a good game. But the Cowboys have got their injuries. But Dak was magnificent last week. But if you're going to go all-round teams, I think the Chargers probably at the moment are the better all-round team. Carl does make a good point about stadiums, but the Chargers have been like that for many years, so they're used to being outnumbered in their own stadium. I'm looking forward to when Pittsburgh go over there later on in the season because we're going to absolutely outnumber them much like other teams will. So, but this game, I love Justin Herbert, another fantastic young AFC quarterback. I wish we had one. I'm sure Ivan wishes he had one. But yeah, I fancy the Chargers to win this game.
Don't take that shit.
What you say about the supporters, because as you know, in soccer, football, whatever you want to call it, you're a Plymouth fan.
Yeah, up the mighty Greens are winning at the moment.
They travel the length and breadth of the country and then always lose. And then the home fans sing, "You came all this way and you lost," which is what's going to happen when Pittsburgh do the Chargers. Saying, Ivan, go ahead.
Don't take that shit, Ivan. Don't take it. He just shots fired at you, man. Get him.
I'm looking forward to Pittsburgh going over to the Chargers as well. It's going to be a slaughter. Well, it's the Chargers, yeah. For me, they're the better team, so I'm going for them.
Nick?
Actually, I'm with Carl. I think the Cowboys are going to win this. I really do. I think.
Not inviting you back, Nick. Green headphones, wooden painted picture behind you. Your clock's gone, and now you're siding on the Cowboys. And you just picked the Seahawks. Your 49 card is getting revoked, my friend, if you carry this on.
I'm drinking mess. I blame it on that.
It does actually look like the colour of mess, I have to say. Dion.
All right, so Ivan, that was a little bit of spice. I like it. I need a little more. Freddie, who is your team?
The Steelers.
The Steelers. And you just clowned on Baker Mayfield. Let me tell you something. Yeah. Baker right now is going to last a hell of a lot longer than Big Ben. Because Big Ben ain't even Big Ben anymore. He's just Ben. Okay?
Oh, well, I don't mind having a Hall of Fame quarterback for the last 18 years or whatever it is, so it's all right.
He's all right. He's all right. Either way, yeah, I'm not getting banned from the show. Nick, you're on your own. I'm taking I'm taking the goddamn Chargers. This is bullshit. I like my friends from across the pond. I'm not fucking with the damn Cowboys. They're gonna lose this game, and I just see Justin Herbert going ape shit on that weak ass defense. Over to you, Scott.
Quick overall answer, Scott, before you answer. Sorry, if the Cowboys are losing big in the fourth quarter, over or under, pictures panning to Jerry Jones looking like he's sucking a lemon.
That is beautiful.
Over or under?
It's a beautiful sight.
Over.
Carl, over or under 5 shots of Jerry Jones looking like he's sucking on a lemon if the Cowboys get the shot.
Yeah, I'll probably take the over on that one.
Matt?
Yeah, over.
Ivan?
Are we still on the Chargers Cowboys?
I've just said if the Chargers are blowing out the Cowboys in the fourth quarter and they love to put the camera on Jerry Jones and he'll be looking like he's sucking a lemon, over or under, we get 5 shots of Jerry Jones looking very uncomfortable in the fourth quarter.
Well, yeah, it's very likely, whatever that is, over or under. I don't know what it is. I don't bet. So
very likely he'll do. Ready?
There we go. More spice from Ivan. I love it.
Nothing more cheery than watching Jerry Jones feeling sorry for himself, other than Baker Mayfield lying flat on his face. But I know Ben sitting on the bench crying his eyes out was also a highlight for Ivan, so I'm not going to go there.
That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Looking around an empty stadium crying because Big Ben is now not even Model Village Ben. Is he? Over or under 5 times that we see Jerry Jones looking like he's sucking a lemon?
Over. We're going to see him slam the door when he walks out all pissy.
Yeah, we do like a Jerry Jones leaving his executive box really pissed as well. That's a good call. Nick?
Oh, he's got resting twat face. It's way over 5.
And I know Dion's going over. So,
resting.
Mr. Smug, your game pick, and do we get over or under 5 pictures of Jerry Jones nearly crying, but he can't because his face is all squashed and horrible anyway. That done.
Well, I'm actually going to go the under because I think this might be the week he actually keels over from it, or his hospice nurse takes him out of the room and saves him from the national embarrassment. So I'm going to go under on the shots of Jerry Jones on national television. And as far as the game goes, Carl, I don't think that the disparity in attendance is going to be that bad. I mean, I don't think all 136 Chargers fans are going to show up to the game.
As many as that.
Oh, they've doubled in size.
Jesus.
A stadium that nice has to have some sort of dress code against plaid shirts with tobacco stains on them and studded rhinestone jeans. So I don't know how many Cowboys fans can actually get into the stadium this week. The Chargers are the better team. The Cowboys are the Cowboys. Dak will throw for like 600 yards and 5 touchdowns, and they'll still figure out some way to choke. And you'll see the corpse of Jerry Jones weekend at Bernie's up there in the press box, looking like he's been taxidermied. So.
Scott, you're on fire, bro. Keep it coming.
I'm now not going to get that out of my head. The weekend at Bernie's analogy, and I'm going to be looking for that.
Every time I see the guy, I'm like, I'm looking for like the strings that are lifting his arms and moving.
Yeah, he looks. Yeah, he does. He looks dead. He looks like he's flat out.
Well, his team could be dead pretty soon if they don't back their ideas up. 2 more games to go. 3 more games to go. We'll do the Niners one first.
There's no question. You don't have to ask me anything. You already know, Nick. Come on now.
Is anybody picking the Eagles?
Yeah, go on then.
No, I fucking knew Freddie would pipe up. Look at him. Look.
Fucking Freddie.
Nah, I think the Niners are going to win this one by a landslide, but I am going to make the case for the Eagles. Just to be annoying, because you're a group of Niners fans, so I like to rustle some feathers occasionally. And
well, the Eagles have feathers, so you're ruffling theirs.
Yeah, but they can ruffle their feathers all over you. But we shall see. No, I think the Eagles played very well last week. Jalen Hurts looked fantastic, but the Falcons were just diabolical. The Niners are a massive step up, and other than the game again, other than the last 3 or 4 minutes against the Lions, they crushed them. So I think the Niners win this game. I think it'd be a bit closer than some might think, but probably 7 or 10 points in it. But the Niners are the better team, so you got to go with them. Really.
He's going to be hurt by name, hurts by nature. That's all I can say on that. So is anybody? Freddie? Did you say you are picking the Eagles?
Yeah, I have to go. I have to go with the Niners. Unfortunately, I'd like to say Eagles, but no, I can't.
Anyone going with the Eagles?
No. I love Matt's face. Matt's face. He looked like, who the fuck would pick him in this game?
He did look very, very shocked and stunned for a moment. All right, Matt. Lions, Packers. Now, some will say last week the Niners took instead of putting the foot on the neck and crushing your windpipe, they didn't. And everyone knows that is what Shanahan does. We saw that in the Super Bowl. We saw it in that game last week. I thought the Lions, apart from the garbage time stuff, the run game looked good. Hockenson looked good. And I thought the Packers, even their defense is their defense. I don't think there's been any improvement on the last couple of years, if I'm honest. And I think you're going to have a lot of success in the run game. So, personally, I'm picking the Lions. And that's death on it because the Packers will probably go in there and blow the fuckers out now. I've said that. I do apologise, Matt, and I hope you aren't 0-2. And I promise you, I'm not going to message you this week. I'm going to leave you alone. I'm going to let you enjoy the game. I'm not going to barrage you with abuse and then all of a sudden think, shit, they're coming back into this. Shit, they're coming back into this. Oh, good game. We got out of there with a win. That's the main thing. What do you think, Matt?
So I heard a really interesting stat from the PFF NFL podcast yesterday, which is that Aaron Rodgers had his 5th game ever with a PFF grade of under 50. In the last 4 of those games, he has thrown for 4 touchdowns and no interceptions in the following game. In every single one. Which does not bode exactly very well for us. The spread of this game is 12 points in favor of Green Bay. 12.
Say what?
Yeah. So the thing is, the Lions had a lot of positives and probably more negatives, but that was still more positives than we were expecting. So people are like, oh, the Lions are maybe not so bad. And we're not going to roll over, and they're going to still feel like they've been in a war, because that's what we're going to do to every team this season. But the Packers, before week 1, most people thought the Packers could win between 10 and 13 games in the NFC. That hasn't changed through one game. They just had a bit of bad chemistry and they got behind early, which means they couldn't use Aaron Jones as much as they should. That's not going to happen in this game. We will not blow them away so that they can get away from the running game. And so it's going to be a real uphill battle for us. But the thing is, we're going to run all over them as well. So it's going to be a really high-scoring game. I think the over-under is something like 47 or 48 points, but I would expect 80, maybe, or more. I think it could be 45, 42, or something like that. We're definitely covering the spread. We're definitely covering the spread.
You sound like you did last week, Matt, and unfortunately that blew up in your face. I know you came back into it.
Fuck the Packers.
Carl,
as much as I like to back Matt up with the Lions, I can't. Aaron Rodgers can't have 2 bad games in a row. He can't, because then there would be huge question marks. One stat which is glaringly obvious, though: Aaron Rodgers is 8-0 in his career on Monday Night Football. He's never lost. So I'm taking the Packers to win.
Is he?
Do you want the nice answer or do you want the honest answer?
Well, I know your brother's a Packers fan, so give us don't give us the nice version. Give us the Jersey Heat answer.
Okay, let's be honest. The Packers have to go up against the Niners on Sunday Night Football in 6 days after the Lions, so they're not going to be exactly...
Izzy, that's a cakewalk. Izzy, that's a cakewalk. Just, forget about that one.
It's not, though. Aaron Rodgers has sucked every time he has to fly to California. He lost to the Chargers. He lost to the Niners. The only time he won was because of freaking COVID and the stupid-ass benching of all the Niner players on Thursday Night Football. Okay? And as much as the Lions have pissed me off in years and years and years of screwing up against the Packers and getting screwed up calls, I actually really think that Hawkinson and DeAndre Swift are going to take advantage of the Packers' piss-poor run defense. So it's not going to be the Packers. I'm picking the Lions.
I would have thought you was going to be dropping bombs in there, Joycey. I'm very disappointed in you.
What?
I thought you were going to drop some F-bombs at least. I thought you was going to bring some of that Jersey heat because of your brother being a Packers fan.
I hate my brother. I hate the Packers, and I can cuss all I want, but what's the point of cussing over a team that's just pathetic? What they did week 1 was pathetic. That defense is pathetic, and Zadarius Smith is now out with a back injury. I mean, what do you really expect out of the Packers? Why give up the energy to cuss when they're just pathetic?
See, Izzy speaks, and everyone's like, shit, damn. Freddie.
I was actually going to bring up Zadarius Smith because that's a big blow on IR for the next 3 weeks. And I'm very happy that he's out for our week 4 game with the Packers at Lambeau. That is for certain. But this game, I see a Packers blowout win. I mean, Rodgers was that bad last week that he's going to regroup. That offense is fantastic. The defense is rubbish, and I'm expecting DeAndre Swift to get a few yards. But if you're going to rely on which team offense is going to batter the other one, you've got to rely on Rodgers over Jared Goff. I'm thinking Packers probably by a couple of scores.
Ivan?
Well, the Lions don't have the worst quarterback in the league because that's Ben, but Goff isn't great, so I've got to go Packers on this one.
There we go, Ivan. I love that shit.
There you go. You see, he's quietly.
I'm just looking down
love
from
it.
our perch near the top of the AFC North.
Week 1. It's only week 1.
Ivan, at the end of the day, you did better than they did. Big Ben can suck a dick. He's trash. He's at the end of his rope. They have no one to succeed him. Baker is the future, my brother. Baker's the future.
Dion, I've got news for you. The whole organisation is trash.
Oh, damn.
And can I just also add, if Big Ben did suck a dick, he paid the person off, so they kept quiet. But that's another fucking story.
Ooh, shots fired, Fred.
Just because we've won a couple of Super Bowls this century, and the only other person that can actually speak on here is Carl and Mr. Smug. The rest of you haven't won anything forever, so.
We've won a few law cases, so we're better than Ben. But then we didn't hush things up like Ben did to get away with it. Always got to have my little digs. You know me, Freddie. Nick,
I have
who
to.
have you got?
I'll dish it out.
I'm going to say that I visit Plymouth on a very regular basis, and the next time you see Freddie, it'll be in Plymouth Sound.
Off the greens of one promotions, that's fine by me.
I'll come and give you a hand, Nick. Don't worry.
No worries, mate.
Double teaming.
Absolutely.
I'll fly over to make it a triple team.
Nice to see I'm so popular.
We'll drag him through Sutton Harbour, make sure he's got various diseases first.
I'll just... Nah,
But,
you only need me to go over the Severn Bridge for that.
Bless you.
Freddie's coming back with some fire. I was going to mention Ginkster's Cornish pasties, but
They're
you know.
minging. They are minging, so I agree with you on that.
But yet you have them on your Plymouth jerseys.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Oh, bless your cons.
Get us back on track.
Go on, Nick.
Packers, big win.
Okay, Dion.
Due to what happened last week toward the end of the game, I think that the Lions have some hope and they have some drive and some will. They do have a run game. We all know the Packers' run defense is trash. And with the loss of Darius Smith, Matt, I'm fucking with you, my brother. I got your back. Lions for the upset.
Wow. Okay.
There you go. Dion bringing it. Scott.
Yeah, I'm not going to overreact to week 1. Week 1's a weird week. Green Bay obviously looked like a dumpster fire. I don't think there's any way they play that bad. When you said the game, Lions versus Packers, I also thought in my head, well, maybe the Lions could win that game. And then I thought maybe I should call an ambulance because I must be having a stroke or a brain. I'm not going to overreact. Aaron Rodgers versus Jared Goff. I'm going to take Aaron Rodgers every day. Packers.
Yeah. That's the second time I've spoken and I didn't take myself off mute. What's a dickhead? And I was
did you pick Carl?
Yeah, I picked the Packers. It's on Nick.
Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah.
I already picked Detroit.
Nah.
Okay. So down,
Detroit.
Okay, so
Matt almost had heart failure because I put the kiss of death on him straight away. Some would say we saved the best till last. I don't think so. Kansas City chokeholds versus the Ravens. Is anybody picking the Ravens first? No one picking the Ravens.
This is going to be a team that's bringing a knife to a gunfight. The gun always
Pretty
wins.
much.
Chiefs are going to win us all day long. The Baltimore, they have to throw the ball in this game. They can't. This running game they have, it will beat teams. But a team like Kansas City, they will annihilate you. Chew up the clock all you want. Mahomes only needs 2 plays to get a touchdown.
Very true.
And And
You know what I'm
with no Marcus Peters, Tyreek Hill's just going to get yards for days.
and I'll say this. What I noticed, and Scott, correct me if I'm wrong, and I've seen this a million times. What Patrick Mahomes does is he throws a ton of dead ducks, and all he does is make sure that it's in the vicinity of Tyreek Hill. And Tyreek can adjust his body to go get the ball. I've literally went back and studied this. There are many balls that are thrown that should be picked off. And Tyreek Hill somehow, some way, finds his way to the ball. Mahomes just puts it in the vicinity of him, and he goes and gets it. And this is why you can never let your foot off the gas while you're playing the Chiefs. They're gonna win. And if you gotta rely on Lamar Jackson to throw the ball, you're screwed.
Well, do I get a push? Am I allowed a push? Can I go for a draw?
I went for a draw last week.
You did.
With the Ponies and the Giants, so you're allowed to pick a draw.
I'm going for a draw. No, in fact, no, I'm not. I'm going for the Ravens. I can't
The problem with this,
I can't even pick a draw because that would mean I was favouring the choke.
I'm trying to see ways I can see the Ravens win this game, and they've lost. They've lost Ronnie Stanley, their left tackle. So you've got Villanueva playing left tackle, and he was utterly hideous on Monday Night Football. You've lost Marcus Peters. Ivan rightly pointed out the other night about one of their guys who came in and played a load of snaps at corner. I can't remember his name. Marlon Humphrey hasn't been fully fit this week. I mean, if you've got those DBs all in a hospital cart somewhere, nowhere near the stadium, then rather than on the field against Kansas City, then you're not going to win the game. I'm desperately trying to think of ways Baltimore can win this, but I can't see.
There is no way. There is no way, Freddie. That's why you can't think of anything because there isn't.
I'm disappointed in you.
Going back to what Dion said about Mahomes just throwing up these ducks, it was pretty hard to throw a tight spiral when you're running, being chased, diving out of bounds, or jumping in the air, throwing it over a receiver.
No, I'm not knocking him for it. I'm just saying that Hill's control, his body control is freakish.
Right. So I don't know if I'd go so far as to say that those throws should be intercepted, because if they should be intercepted, they'd get intercepted more than they do, and they don't. Those guys are perhaps maybe the best example of like backyard football in the NFL for a long time. It's just those guys know, he knows where he's going to be. Right. Patrick Mahomes even said, he goes, I couldn't even see Tyreek Hill. It was like, all I could see was like his little hand go up. And when he does that, I know I can throw the ball down there and he's going to go get it.
Yeah, because Hill's like, what, 5'10"?
Yeah.
So
the other thing too about the killer blow for the Ravens, and it's a big reason that Mahomes and the Chiefs have owned the Ravens the last few years, is the Ravens defense is all predicated on the blitz and bringing extra pressure. And Patrick Mahomes is the top-rated passer against the blitz started in 2018.
Which basically means at least Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce up in the middle to get an easy 10, 15 yards.
Yeah,
it's textbook. You could have done this sort of play in the freaking 60s. It's textbook.
You cannot blitz the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, and the Ravens. They have to blitz to be effective with the way their defense is built and the way they play. So it's like one of those. It's just like an awful matchup. Not only are the Chiefs probably the better team, it's just the way they match up with what the Ravens want to do. It just makes it even tougher for the Ravens to play. It really, if you want to hang with the Chiefs, so you have to pressure them with a 4-man front. You can't bring extra players, and so you're going to see the Ravens. They're either going to have to blitz and hope that, against all hope, that Mahomes all of a sudden sucks against the blitz, or they're going to have to adjust what they do and try to play zone. And if you were listening to when Peyton and Eli were talking during the Manning stream, anytime the Ravens would go into a zone defense, Peyton Manning would say, he goes, why are they playing zone here? Why are they driving? They're terrible at zone. They can't play zone defense. So not only does Mahomes eat them alive on the blitz, they can't revert and go do something else because they're terrible at it. So yeah, the Chiefs should win this game comfortably. I'm guessing probably 12, 14 points, maybe somewhere in there.
See, Callie right there is me and Callie even talked about that. It's just like I said, I studied it, and here's the thing. If you want to beat the Chiefs, you need to take away Tyreek Hill, you need to take away Travis Kelce, and then you'll win. You know why? Because Kelce is a monster. Kelce is a monster in the red zone. Like, you already know. You know Kelce is the red zone guy. But the thing is whenever you're up on the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes finds some way that the boy could be falling down in the fucking end zone and throw the shit 60 damn yards. He has that much of a cannon, and he just puts it in the vicinity of Hill and he goes to get it. But that's your only way. And yes, you're right. You can only take away one. So honestly, if you want to take away one, I would have to say you take away Tyreek Hill, because Travis Kelce is he moves like molasses. He's not super fast when he's running, so it's easier to deal with him. But it just, when you see what he's done, man, it's ridiculous to watch lame ducks be thrown, and Hill just finds a way to go get him. And I think they literally, that analogy, backyard football, was perfect.
And I'm still picking the Ravens. So,
you make me. Oh dear.
Yeah, we may have to put him in a padded cell after this one.
Week 2 picks are in. We're going to be getting up out of here shortly. Let's go around a horn very quickly for final thoughts. What you're looking forward to this weekend, Carl?
Well, got a busy night tomorrow. Me and Freddie will be doing our first ever watch along. We will be doing the Baltimore Chiefs game, so that'll be really, really exciting to watch. We have our usual show we do on Monday with Craig, and Freddie will be on doing our prediction show with me on a Wednesday night. So it's our schedule for the up and coming season. And today has been an absolute blast. Absolute lot of fun. And I am going to have to re-watch this because I've been on my Excel spreadsheet and not on the screen watching everyone's reaction. So I'm going to have to re-watch this later on. But thank you to everyone for coming on. You're absolutely amazing as always. You're all family. So thank you.
Definitely. And nice to see you were watching an Excel spreadsheet. That just sums you up, Carl. That's all I can say, my brother. And I will pop in to your watch along should I wake up, just so I can give Freddie abuse because it's hilarious. So
I look forward to it.
It will be nowhere near as good as the Peyton Manning, Eli Manning freaking commentary.
No, it'd be like Bert and Ernie.
We'll do our best.
Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street watching you two on the screen. But there you go. Matt.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching Monday Night Football actually this time. I've got Tuesday booked off work, so, that's all clear. 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm still going to be watching along with the Roar of the Lions guys. We're going to be doing a live watch along with you for all of our Lions games, and then same day, 12 hours later, we're going to be breaking everything down. Looking forward to that. Can't wait to see Rodgers still looking like a homeless person. It's going to be hilarious. We have some the fewest interceptions in the last 2 years or something really, really bad. If we manage to pick him off once or twice, I'll be in fucking dreamland. Fuck the Packers. Fuck anyone who likes the Packers. Thanks for having me on.
On that note, now come on, Ivan. This is your big finish now. Let's build up that tension. Ivan.
I'm looking forward to the Browns stomping the Texans, but the other thing I'm looking forward to is seeing a team that doesn't play out the Steelers coaching book and get one of our players sent off. So that'll be nice to see all our good players on the pitch. Browns win, big win, good one.
Freddie, I want to know out of you and Carl, which one's going to be Bert and which one's going to be Ernie from Sesame Street on your live watch along?
I'm going to be driving the fastest milk cart in the West.
Nice Benny Hill reference for the teenagers.
But yeah, to be honest, I'm really looking forward to rambling nonsense with Carl for a few hours. I think we'll probably make quite a good duo. Probably not the first week, but give it a few weeks, and I think it'll be good fun. So yeah, looking forward to that. I think Ivan's rightly put it. I think the Browns are going to put on a show tomorrow. So good luck to them. I think they'll smash the Texans, and I think the Steelers game is going to be very interesting. But I don't think that's a foregone conclusion by any means. There's lots of games to look forward to. I don't think week 2 is particularly the strongest week. I think there's a few blowouts in there. But week 3 and 4 look really quite tasty. So you've got to have the bad weeks to have the good ones. So yeah, looking forward to it. And thanks for having me on again, as per usual.
Awesome. Izzy, final thoughts?
I expect to see George Kittle and the Niners kick butt on offense, and I hope the defense tightens up.
And Jimmy G has another 300-yard game, and people are still pissed that he does it. Nick?
Well, you're Jimmy G love. Oh my god.
It's going to be a fun all week. I know there's going to be a few blowouts, but I think there's going to be a few fans holding funerals for their teams this week, which should be amusing to watch. But Niners 2-0. Happy days.
Dion.
I will say thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. Love all you guys. Ivan, thank you for the extra kick there. I appreciate it, brother. I'm always glad to see a Browns fan loving to stick it to the Steelers. Elijah Mitchell, learn the name. You're gonna love it. And if you're in fantasy, pick him up because he's going for another 100 yards, and this time it's 2 TDs.
Can people not pick Niner RBs in fantasy, because that seems to be like a kiss of death? Because everybody went right down.
People were bidding 70% of their yearly budget on him this week. It was crazy.
Izzy, the kiss of death is Raheem Mostert. While we love him, we do. Let me tell you this. Izzy, he gets injured. He gets injured at some point during the year. It's inevitable. We know it. We understand it. As much as we love him, we know this is going to happen. Both of my Knicks, I know you guys understand what the hell I'm talking about. Oh, and the last thing, Ayuk. He's gonna have a hell of a fucking game this week. Scott. Ooh.
Scott.
Shots fired by Callie. Scott, you there?
I'm gonna have to put that up there. Any time I get to put some disparaging comments on before Mr. Smug gives his final thought, I'll do it. Scott, go ahead.
Final thoughts are it was good, having football back. I was at that Chiefs-Browns game in Arrowhead. It was lit, as the young people would like to say. That fucking stadium was insane, man. Full capacity, full throat. But I got to dispel this myth that's out there. I keep seeing that the Chiefs got lucky or the Browns gave the game away and they should have won. It was a good game between two really good teams, and in the end, the Chiefs made more plays in the second half and won the game. They forced the turnovers. They held the ball the entire third quarter. Patrick Mahomes made the big play to Tyreek Hill for the 75-yard touchdown. In the first half, Baker Mayfield made the big throw to the open guy downfield, and he somehow tripped over his own feet and almost dropped the ball and ran out of bounds instead of scoring a touchdown. When your best three are Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, and the Browns' best three are Baker Mayfield, Kareem Hunt, and Nick Chubb, it's going to be a long day. The Chiefs took the Browns' best shot. They were still standing, and they knocked them out in the final round of the fight. It wasn't luck. It's not coincidence. If it keeps happening over and over and over and over. So Chiefs, they get to go on to the Ravens this week, and I don't know why I hate the Ravens so much. I just do. So always look forward to embarrassing them on prime time. Good to see everybody. I had a good time. It was a lot of fun as always. Looking forward to some more games this week.
I've got 3 final thoughts, and they're all quite interlinked with everything. So there's a bit of a thing going on. First one, fuck the Seahawks. Second one,
Yep.
fuck the Raiders. Third one, fuck the Cowboys. My name's Nick, Alfred, whatever you want to call me. Shank Club NFL. Carl, as ever, pleasure. Matt, Izzy, bringing the new Jersey Heat. See, I went nearly a whole thing without bringing up Jersey, but I had to. Bossest man on Twitter, Freddie, as ever. Ernie, you now need to be Ernie when you come back on the show. Ivan, good to see you again. Hope your sister-in-law's doing well and your brother. Please pass on my best regards. Dion, thanks for coming on. Mr. Smug, sorted your Wi-Fi out. Like it. Nick, I wonder what's going to be in the background when you come on next week, if you're going to have the clock back painting with wood, but at least the kitchen is tidy, and we always like a tidy kitchen, may I say.
Kitchen was tidy last week.
You obviously had a cleaner in to sort your kitchen out for you, which is what I like. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for everyone being here. I've had a blast this week. It's been really, really good. I probably will be doing a pre-game show tomorrow on the Shank Club NFL if anyone wants to join. Probably half an hour or so, catch up on injuries, things like that. Izzy's waving at me, so Izzy, go ahead.
I said I do. You said if anyone, I said I do.
Oh, right. Sorry, I thought you was... Oh, sorry. My bad. So I will probably be doing that. I'll put it out on Twitter if I am. Pre-game show. Nothing but Niners crew are in Philadelphia, so they're probably not going to be doing a show. So I've said I'll do one, try and get them to join, etc., etc. Thank you for everyone for joining. If this last two little things work on the outro, it'll be a miracle. But I've just got one thing to say as we go.
Oh no! We suck again! Let's get ready